Hi, my name is Beth Stuller, and I'll be reading my essay, The Blurred Lines of Work Life and the Beagle That Binds Them. This is for my students at Hereford High School. A tiny ceramic beagle stands on my desk beside the laptop screen and looks at me as I look at you, framed in your bedroom squares. It measures 2 inches, nose to tail, and its glossy coat reflects the window light. A whimsical thing for a woman to have. It's a gift from my grandmother, long dead now. We called her Doodah, a name my sister babbled, and it stuck. Doodah lived in Ventnor City, a coastal town in South Jersey. Its streets, in grids that connected to Atlantic City to the north and Margate and Longport to the south, are the same streets that populate a monopoly board. From her house, I crossed Ventnor and Atlantic Avenues to get to the beach. My family never went on vacations. We'd go visit Doodah, 2 blocks from the ocean. This was before Airbnbs and weekly rentals were not allowed there. Doodah looked down at renters who booked houses for summer. Each year she complained, another family from Philadelphia to use our beach and leave. Ventnor was a residential town, and that's how she liked it. Envious of my friends who vacationed in tourist-tacky Ocean City, Maryland, where aqua-hued motels lined Coastal Highway, I spent late afternoons riding my aunt's old bike down the edged sidewalks of Ventnor, past blue hydrangeas that anchored porch fronts. Sometimes my parents would take me, their youngest, to Ocean City, New Jersey, where the boardwalk featured amusement rides and junk shops. The nighttime trek over the Longport Ocean City Bridge revealed a kaleidoscope of colored lights, their reflection on the water doubly enticing. There's a scene in The Great Gatsby when Jay drives Nick Carraway in the yellow coupe from Long Island to Manhattan. Nick says, "The city scene from the Queensboro Bridge is always the city scene for the first time, in its first wild promise of all the mystery and the beauty of the world." That's how I felt as a kid in the backseat of my dad's Toyota, watching the lights full of promise, the electric beauty of childhood. On at least one trip, I must have cried over a disappointment, a dropped cone, an overthrown ring toss. But mostly, I remember riding the tilt-a-whirl with my dad, the 2 of us, the centrifugal force pulling us together. In a family with 7 kids, alone time with dad was a big deal. He's dead now, too. After the tilt-a-whirl, we strolled the boards, and this is where Doodah bought me my little beagle in a shop full of knickknacks and decaled souvenirs. A menagerie of animals stood silent on shelves, their feet secured to manila-colored squares, a price scrawled in the corner. In the olden days, when people shopped used bookstores and leafed through musty pages grabbed from dusty shelves, they'd handle the tomes with germy fingers and breathe the stale air in cramped aisles, content to slip in and out of novels, histories, art. Some customers leaned on tables stacked with merchandise. Others squatted before low shelves. The nimble and committed sat cross-legged on the floor. And inside the cover of each book was written the cost in a sure but hurried hand. That's how the price appeared on this beagle's placard. A large 2, and then 50, a bit smaller, underscored with a lead stripe. Doodah bought me this token to remember my visit and because I loved beagles. I longed for a dog but was denied any pet. It was the 70s, and with 9 mouths to feed, my parents had no money for non-humans. The instant carnation milk, its powdered clumped in my glass, was proof enough. Beagles were adorable with big eyes and long perky ears, and unlike a lab, they were smaller than me when they jumped in greeting. A neighbor's grown son owned one. Whenever the son came to visit, I entertained the dog. We played fetch and tug of war, and when the dog tired, I sat in the grass and pet her suede soft ears. I vowed when I grew up, I'd get a beagle of my own. Thank you.